Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum. We'll continue our lesson on the process costing. So last time we learned on the process costing flow where we are preparing the process account, the normal loss account, abnormal gain account, and prepare a relevant statement of equivalent units and the statement of cost and the statement of evaluation. And now when the product is completed, what we need to do. Okay, so in these lessons, we are learning on the identify, join, and buy products, distinguish between the join and buy products, explain and identify the split off point, explain the alternative methods of allocating joint costs to the joint product, and explain how joint costs are used for a short-term decisions making. So the joint products is actually involved two or more products produced from the same processing operation. So it is not distinguishable up to the point of separations. So the joint products which are generated from a single production process that use common inputs. So the joint products usually have a significant economic value. So after the split off point, the products become distinguishable and it is considered as the main products that have a significant sales value. And the products that indirectly produced is known as the byproducts, which are incidentally produced in the production process and have insignificant sales value. So example of joint product is a lumber and plywood in the wood processing. So any outputs having insignificant economic value and which are not primarily intended to be manufactured are called byproducts. So this differentiation is needed because the difference in the cost allocations between byproducts and joint products. So costs incurred up to the split off point are known as a joint cost or common cost. So the joint costs are portions to the joint products for the purpose of to value the closing inventories and to compute the cost and assess the profitability of the production and to assist in making decision, especially on the pricing setting. So usually all the costs incurred on a joint production process are allocated to the joint products, whereas no costs are typically located to any byproducts. So there are two methods of apportionment. First is the physical measurement and number two is the sales value measurement. So on physical measures, it is based on the physical output, weight or value, and the joint products are charged with a proportionate share of a joint cost. And the cost per unit is similar for each joint product. So physical measurement method is the allocation of joint costs based on the quantity of each product manufactured. So another method is the sales value measures, which is based on the sales value at a split off point, and it is a net realizable value that assumes the sales revenue of joint products determine the cost to be allocated, and it will result in a similar profit or sales ratio. So the sales value method is the allocation of a joint cost based on the sales price of the joint product less any additional expenses to be incurred before sale. So the joint products may be sold or further processed after the split off point in a separate process to bring them into usable and sellable form. In such cases, it may incur additional expenses after split off, provided additional work on the further process results in a net incremental benefit. So joint costs are usually irrelevant for a decisions making because it is based on the past cost, and the joint cost is not affected by the decisions made. So the byproducts, this is the incidental products that produce or emerge in the production process. So it is not apportions, the joint costs are not apportions to the byproducts, and it is treated in a similar manner to the normal loss. So example of the byproduct is a sawdust in the wood processing. So the treatment of byproducts is the income from byproducts will be added to the main product income, and the income from byproduct will be the main source of the will be treated as a separate source of income, and the net realizable value of a byproduct deducted from the cost of productions. So example, a company is engaged in a basic wood processing which produces the following joint or byproducts, for example, lumber, firewood, and sawdust. So all the above products usually are obtained from a joint process. And here the lumber and firewood are joint products, whereas sawdust is a byproduct due to its insignificant value. So thus all of the joint costs are likely to be allocated to lumber and firewood, because we don't allocate the byproduct cost. The byproduct cost is treated as a expenses that added to the main product incomes. So all the three products, the lumber, firewood, and sawdust, may be sold directly or further processed. For example, sawdust may be compressed to create wood pellets, which used as a biofuel, and firewood may be converted into charcoal briquettes, and lumber may be converted into furniture or building materials. With that, thank you very much.